Would you kill to save a life? Or would you kill to prove you are right? Is 2:46 a.m. Monday, April 24th, 2024. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different locations. There are 13. And 13 diamonds as well. Well, what is the 13th location? Only time could tell. Fact or fiction? Fiction. There's a cricket. This cricket no longer has AIDS, but it is still HIV positive potentially. Inside of a modest, modern, Western, but also East Continent looking office building. There are certain office buildings here in America that are inspired by the other continent. I believe in God. I believe in the Almighty. None of you are God. None of you are Jesus. None of you are Satan. None of you are the Lord. There is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Anything beyond that point is precocious and unnecessary and also potentially hazardous or NSFW. There are also neutrals, including black, white, 2 metallics that are silver and gold, but sometimes none of these are present or they are omnipresent. He had a twin. Who became a security guard. They don't really look alike. Anyway. I know that I'm not the only one who would prefer that his head and other heads in particular as well especially beautiful ladies that absolutely did not deserve it. I know I'm not the only one that would prefer their heads to not end up in some type of holiday boxes, including in fondant. Or recyclables. Or their children, or their dogs, cats, horses, fish, birds, etc. This is from Amazon. It is not taxidermy, nor is it illegal in any of the 50 American states. I thought there were 51 or 48, there are 50. But this cat shouldn't have been in this box last Halloween, last October. You get 10 years in jail in the state of New York, but you have already received the death penalty at least half a dozen times. Potentially. Now you're awake. Now you're mostly alive. True indigo, true blue, true red, these are starting colors that are difficult to figure out. True blue paint can be utilized amongst other ordinary or unassuming locations, props, sets, indoor, outdoor scenery. Please stay inside, and if you are outside, remember that even though you are no longer testing positive for AIDS, the goal is to make sure that nobody globally tests positive for even 1.9% HIV. So you may have been infected up to 19% with HIV because of the rain and the clouds and lightning. That is red, blue, and green in particular. These are the three colors that will flash intermittently, and then just red and green, so that you wake up, fall asleep, and what if the police sirens were always these two colors instead? Hey, welcome to Welcome. You don't have to welcome people ever again. Merry Christmas. It's not that the lights on the police cars are red and green, it's that you're going colorblind with blue. So you have an unusual color blindness where you have 97% perfect color vision actually. However, blue, it looks green. No, that's blue. Put on these glasses. Okay, now they're blue. There's a difference between turquoise and blue. There is a difference also between indigo and violet. There is a difference between violet and pink, silver and gold, black and white. This list is red through violet. Red is pride, orange is greed, yellow is lust, green is envy, blue is gluttony, indigo is wrath, violet is sloth. Turquoise is knowledge. Pink is faith. Pink was after violet, and then there was turquoise. There was faith and knowledge and faith. It's classified. It's the opposite of violet. How many sins are there? There's 13 total. Moving on. Our first location on this virtual tour, the only ways in which you are to acquire more data requires an official FBI license and a temporary visitor's pass, or a promotion or a demotion. Happy Christmas time. That doesn't happen for at least another several months, few months, whatever. It's Christmas in July. Happy July-Halloween. Happy Galloween. Happy Christmas. Merry Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. Israel is the final stage of relocation for some. It is not Israel who required slaves, hostages, or genocide. Same with China. Excuse me, they do not like this in their countries. China had slaves and hostages. And genocide? No. World peace, including in a place where there might be warcraft. Time. It is 6:31 a.m., Monday, October 13th, 2025. It is 60 degrees Fahrenheit and mostly cloudy. You are 99% healthy. And you are capable of existing for at least another 100 years. However, you may have earned a life in prison sentence and an additional 100 years. Or you may have earned a 25-year jail sentence upon entry. It might only be 25 hours after the end of the tour. And an additional 100 years because we all believe in eternal life because of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. No? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So what happened in this garden that was inside of a museum, and it's not a rainy afternoon or morning or evening, but it's a fountain, and you can turn it off, right? There's lights on the fountain. What are the primary colors and how? And do they tell a story or explain something as if my baby puppy's life depends on it? And so does my mom's. My mom was beside herself, but it was like bits. No, the flowers are of you. What? Time. There's our left hip. Red needs to explain something about his circumstances. He's a father, a real father, and this may have been verified by approximately springtime, Easter. By 2023, it was considered. By 2024, it was proven. There are corpse flowers in green new by 2024 that they were 97% deceased. They did not know this in 21, 22, or 23. In 2020, whatever, 21, maybe. Life existed primarily and only because of men. This is incorrect. Although amphibians sometimes have similar results, and so might robots and plants. So they're our children, but mostly his children. The man who was green, goodbye. But this right here, this red flower, that's you. That's you, Jack MC. This red flower, that's your child. That's your child. And it was. But these children, these babies, these results could not have happened unless there was a one-way street sign that said, no. And the boys were to stay where they belonged. Mary and Lisa provided the lighting. And there was a painting that had gold potentially attached to it, but only if you flicked on the light switch. Orange was also present, and I have failed this sobriety test. Yet again, I am in a bind. You'll notice there's a pond. I'll do better with another one. I'm warmed up. Are you birds cold? No, it's temperate. The pond changes different colors, but if you leave the lights off, it's sort of a sepia color. Sepia. And it looks like this building may have existed in the 70s. The architecture is like a mid to late 1970s carpet. Some of the original lighting installations could have been the 70s, 80s, or the real 70s neon. You can upgrade them. And the light fixtures in North Garden is designed to be a clean, eco-friendly, permanently safe, non-poison situation. But we must be understanding and respectful of those that we may have used to spend time with in person. However, raise your right hand if you are either an INFJ or an ENFJ. The dogs, the cats, and the horses did not raise their paws, nor did they bend their hooves or crack them. Either one, right? Is it the right hoof or the left? So unless the light switch is turned on in the pond, which does not look like the image that has been drawn, but it is similar, it's remote viewing CAT scans. Turquoise does not exist, neither does blue, indigo, or violet. Orange is temporarily suspended, deep sleep. Deep sleep, it is red, yellow, and green. Berenstein, the Rasta colors. Do you remember being red, yellow, and green, or red, green, and yellow? I remember red, yellow, and green. Do you remember red, blue, and green? Or red, green, and blue? It will make sense, and hey, Thank you for winning that. We might be compatible on a remote distance team on Skype someday. World peace, including in a place called Warcraft. You are not going to win. They pissed in the fountain, they said. They made them. How long did Red have to stay in his car? He lived in his car for about a month. Okay. Turquoise does not exist. Red needs to remember that. Turquoise is nowhere near you on any degree. And there really isn't much orange either. There's a little bit. It is mostly red, yellow, and green. But when you turn on the fountain, there's a rotating light system. Unfortunately, this morning, this is a closed-off crime scene. The guests are exiting the building. Most are waiting in the parking lot or working their way through the various indoor or outdoor chambers. And if you push this light switch, whoa, all the lights turn off and there's like lightning and thunder and a sprinkler. No. We're not going to remember that there is something called sin. But we are going to remember that there are 7 primary colors according to the Berenstain Bears. If there's a rainbow that happens somewhere in the sky because of rain, a little bit of light rain, there are 7 colors. Indigo. This is indigo. It is demonstrated early on in the tour. So is turquoise. However, turquoise does not exist. You will continue to notice a difference between blue and turquoise, and also that metallics and neutrals, including brown, black, and white, are not mentioned. Primary colors only. You are required to create a painting with only orange and blue by the end of the tour. Like Bob Ross. We'll spend some time meditating together. This is organic, eco-friendly tobacco. You are always permitted to wear your face masks until the end of time. And once it is the end of time, you know what? If it's cloth and not disposal and it's got your formula of choice, which might be something that you require in essential oils, medications, or water, or disposability, it is always an option until the end of time and beyond. God bless China, God bless Israel, God bless Russia. I appreciate you. May the Lord bless you. Bless. I believe in world peace and parenthood. I believe that Christmas time is when it's supposed to historically take place. That world peace is felt the most around December. It is October. Satan is the devil. This is non-essential, quintessential information. Pardon? No. I will not. You've been placed under arrest, and I'm not the one who's going to do this to you outside of Party City or by looking at the website online. You know what? Al-Qaeda. You must be at least 17 years of age to know that this recording exists. Most of you are old enough to purchase alcohol, but not for at least an hour and a half. There are other liquid beverages available, including this drink, which is 1/3 orange juice and 2/3 Sprite today. There is Madame Butterfly, that is Britney Spears, and there is the mom, who is Christina Aguilera. Since when? December. Huh? Oh, What time is it? What year is it? 2020 December. Oh, right. So anyway, around this time in 2020, October 2020, Red had to do some thinking. He didn't just have to do some thinking, he had to learn how to lay down, potentially on a park bench that he built himself. But just in case, there was a shelter in concrete. But the electricians didn't always agree. It turns out, Yellow was a two-headed demon that everybody mostly trusted, but now we're at 99%. The Titanic will sink, and my babies are at rest. Let's carry on. Tiny Tim will survive up through at least Easter Sunday in 2026. What a heckin' number. Tribe 13. 7. Good morning. I am not a robot. Are you? You're not necessarily illegal. However, history repeats itself. Fact or fiction? It is sometimes fact and also fiction. So we're going to turn off the lights on the ground. Apologies, there will be an editing. This is recording for, well, it's like forensics. It's nice what happened. Well, the men knew that they were the only ones there. Red is a man, green are men, and yellow is the lighting. Orange has stock and industry. Turquoise, for the record, is also a man. Indigo, they're handling how they're feeling. Indigo is whoever they are. Some of you know them. Then there's Violet. It's the same. Where's Violet? They're handling their situation. So is Green. They're handling. There are 7. Green, Indigo, and Violet. Yellow, there are 2. Red, there is 1. Orange, there is 1. Blue, there is 2. Blue is also included as well. However, some people are confusing the turquoise with blue or the indigo with the violet. Are there any animals in there? Potentially plankton, but not necessarily amphibians. Welcome back to the Academy. Isn't it amazing, isn't it incredible that it is October 2025 and somewhere on a temperate day in California and also Universal Florida, no hurricanes, clouds of ice, maintaining eco-friendly water sources, ongoing water sources that are recycled and friendly, global OCD, don't panic, don't panic, your 5S, don't panic. This means this, you're blue, don't panic, throat chakra, don't panic, your center primary chakra, goes up your indigo, third eye, whoa, violet, lock it up, hey, shh, oh, so you drop it. Is there a Titanic section? Yes, with music, but just that one. So we got the Titanic upgrade. Yeah, it was like an expansion pack for our building, right? Notice how on the outside it's a nondescript, mostly office-like building. Are you in Southern California, Florida, or Russia? Or neither? You are in your own domain, and that's that. So what's happening in the place where there is sound and also background ambience? Well, we'll skip ahead. Let's skip this page. What's on the next page? What's the next page? I don't know. I like this book. Oh. Just because it's a kissing Disney book? No, come on. There's no kissing. I think I'll throw up. if this happens, there were airplane bags, potentially, or plastic bags, upcycled bags. Would you kill to save a life, or would you kill to prove you're right? This is a difficult question for me, starting with ladybug, some type of spider, some type of mantis, or cat, dog, horse, mouse. There were mice. There's not going to be any more mice. Thank you for being the ones that, in a similar domain, oh my gosh, it has a tail, there's a mouse, oh, no, feeling didn't exist 5 years ago. Throat chakra. Do you believe? I want to. I'd like to. Jesus. I believe in him. I believe in Jesus. You're 5 out of 7. Thank you for also believing in Jesus, however it is you believe in Jesus. I currently have a what color lighter? You may guess what color my lighter is, as if it is from all of the colors that have been mentioned. And I'm supposed to have the capability as a magician to be like, whoa, and it is a different color, but no. God bless those of you who are on that level as classified. So anyway, I'm going to take it down a few notches and turn off the irrigation system. It needs to be mostly upcycled, eco-friendly water. We're getting there. It's rainwater. Deep breath. Planet Earth is now negative 19% infected with HIV. Wow. Good job. You all suspended your OCD, and it is Halloween time, and this is not logistically what is happening in this building, but it is an upcycled, kind of sort of Universal Studios Airbnb. It's like the Jungle Cruise, but you're sitting still, and you might still have some kundalinis. Don't want none of those, right? Because robot. There it is. It's classified. We all have microchips in our wrist just in case we don't want credit cards or something. No. So in the background effects, another side of the same situation, as if there are other negotiations and responsibilities and Christian resiliences. Red through gold, every single one of them, since they were maybe 3 to 5, they have been told by people, adults, peers, youngerlings, that they are God, that they are Jesus, and that they are Satan, that they are the devil, and that they are the goddess. Some of them identify as men, some of them identify as women. There they are. They belong to ye. You do not get life in the state of New York, but you got 25 years. And they got life in prison, but they didn't get the death penalty. And it's not even 7 o'clock in the morning. What time is it where you are? Red is supposed to be in the same time zone as myself. His name is not David, but it is Michael. Michael Roberts, MR. That means Mr. Right. Left. He is left-handed. He is seated and will exist in the memories of many for at least a quarter century. I believe in extended existence. Continued existence because of CBD, THC, and faith in God and Jesus concerning dogs, cats, and horses. Dogs are the first. Cats traditionally live about twice as long as dogs, although some say they're lucky to live a decade. Dogs are lucky to live beyond 7. Most police dogs and canines only live to about 5. That's awful. This tobacco would not hurt the sheriff's canine. I believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I believe peace on earth. 75% of the global police, starting with the police, military, this is where the bad police go. So it's 75% no good police, 25% good police. Okay? That 75% is not good police, 25% are no good police, and they go into the military, which becomes on a global level about 1/3 bad military, 2/3 good military, and this is what you need to do with your 25-year World War III veteran establishments and 150-year-long natural lifespans. Some of you might need to rest for at least a decade off and on with a routine, and I don't know if you are ashes or become ashes or go into stasis somehow this way. There will be memorials in a stasis place in December, but not for family years. What was Pearl Harbor? What was Pearl Harbor? That took place in Hawaii, which is off of the west coast. If you keep going west, you'll eventually get where that was supposed to take place and to take place, and eventually happened, right? It is classified how you're not going to win. Not today. Yellow makes candles. Sometimes, but not always. Green cannot really smoke green products. They're sensitive. White is present as well, and so is turquoise, but those are not the primary, although they say that the prism is white and violet. We'll get there. And it could have been worse, but it wasn't. Black is there as well. Could have been worse, but it wasn't. No offense. Some taken. I'm sorry. Condolences. Turquoise is a color that does not exist. Doesn't it have another name? What, violet? Violet is a group of females who would only use the female locker. The gender that you choose might be not a plural, somewhat singular, but not always. Don't go into that. But this is why the third door in the center exists. And if today is a day where they would like to express as him instead of her, okie dokie, let us know ahead of time. Me and my dog. Just a good boy. Still warm enough. these birdies are real. I swear they're not real. Ah, it's California. It's Del Mar. So you're actually closer to Del Mar, but I am remote connecting from another point in the north. Oh, it remembers. Yeah. No. There's an Easter basket. No, too. Why? Because this one's serious with allergies. So on a G-rated level, keep it PG, what happened at this crime scene? Homicide, premeditated, of turquoise and pink. It was pink and turquoise. Say their names. As if I was one of the angels who greeted them. Please do not fear me. This is a lie. Is it a truth or a lie that some of you have these as your maybe 25 weeks instead of 25 months or 25 years? You have chosen to continue at least third-degree homicide, world peace. You have to burn it, theoretically. This fictitious matrix, you'll notice that it is mostly CGI and animated, and you have on VR headsets and it's ASMR. There is real photography later on for those of you that are spying. Here it goes, great. No. And then what's going to happen is you're going to look at real photography instead of a memory. That you're mostly 99% done with the Titanic, and you still have a little bit more time left on your right hearing aid instead of your throat device. Right? There's like a little tube right there. Wow, is that a Halloween costume or is that a real injury? Peace be with you. Seven was a mastermind. He was a genius. He had a twin. They don't resemble each other anyway. It's classified, keep it G-rated. The devil is Satan. It is October. Tribe 13. No, it's already gone too far. You'll be just fine. Everybody will be just fine. You're gonna be just fine, priests. You're gonna be just fine, rabbis. You're gonna be just fine, pigeons and rabbits. Just fine. Shall we move on? Let's. Oh wait, I want a little bit more time with this fountain. Now you get to preview on your tablets where the next domain is. I don't like switching locations, man, I swear. You need tweezers. You are prohibited from using tweezers for at least 25 hours. You are prohibited from using scissors for 25 hours as well. And by the end of this tour, you will also be prohibited from doing your signs like cut it out right now. And some of the colors will be exiting the building. So not every color is present in the crime scene. Was there a crime scene? There was a crime scene. It is classified. Brian and Gabby were murdered through their experience. So was I. And so are these two cats. Thank you for bringing your dogs. You were welcome to bring your dogs. Everybody went through the metal detectors. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for signing off. Because today is Monday. And it's before 10 o'clock in the morning. The park doesn't open until 10 o'clock. And the building doesn't open until 10 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast? Yes. Later. No. You get one now and one later. You get one now and one later. I don't know if I want this orange juice. How about the rest of that Sprite, you know? It's like a shot of vodka. It's just sugar and Sprite. Oh my gosh. Cheers. No, really, which plastic does this go in? This is, well, you can scan it. Or, there's like a number, right? You can scan it these days. Oh yeah, you can take off the label and take the plastic. Cut it, you can make like a bag or something. I don't know, but there was like soda on it. Your soda on it. No, that was bad. Alright. Is there glitter? Please tell me there's no glitter. There is no glitter. Thank you for saying please. Diet Coke. Trivia. Was that Madame Butterfly or the moth? Is she a lady? Yes, she is a lady. She's a lady and the men are jealous. The green men are jealous. That's right. Her eyes are blue. Oh, her eyes are brown. What? It's called a pinky swear. And a chest swap. Pepsi challenge or Coca-Cola. They don't have Coke. They have Diet Coke. It's Pepsi. Oh, Coke, Pepsi. Yeah. So the next domain, you will continue to hear the ambience that has been pre-selected. It is 7:07 a.m. How are all of your travel sales doing? We're at 99%. I will continue to adjust the visual on my computer screen in accordance with the investigation. There are currently 12 locations, and number 13 will be selected by the end of the tour. Thank you for participating. What made it different? There's no such color as turquoise. Do you see it? There's blue. Keep it PG. Sometimes kids or adult themes where kids are involved are potentially mentioned. This can happen. Sign off on. I was one of those kids. Right? This is like a show. Yeah, this is Gio. That was the show. Yeah, that's the other weekend. Right? Yeah, they're adults. This is a show. Yeah, it's PG. This is a PG musical. Is that not a PG musical? It's the kind of more gnarly musical. Let's move on. Personal psychic readings is different. This is crime scene investigation. I have been murdered before. Brian and Gabby have been murdered. Katy Perry was the angel who greeted Gabby. And James Franco was the angel who created Brian. They are now ex-Illuminati. Rest in peace. Potentially also in power in paradise, although not necessarily. because that means the same crime happened 3 different times, and it is meant to be published and solved and resolved by others. It is classified. What about this and this and this? I will never. Are you a Mrs. Lady? I've never been Mrs. Lady. No. Never, ever, never, ever, ever Mrs. Lady. So what colors left and what colors remain? Well, this is where you can take notes and maybe answer some questions or create questions for the end of the tour. What colors can you see if there is only red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet that exist? And if there are others, including colors that have been mentioned, like white, turquoise, black, pink, silver, gold, brown, shades of this or that. Yes, turquoise is a color that does not exist. Backstage secret. 75% of the time, the best villains are played by individuals that are decent people and strangely excellent and loyal people, to where the heroes are supposed to be contrary-wise to the villains, and the anti-heroes are usually hero versus villain. The trust is established. 25% of the time, if they're a villain, they're precisely the villain that they always were. To the end, rest in peace. Whatever your power was in paradise, maybe by 2027, you receive 25 months in jail. I like my baby cats in heaven, which is 99%, to have at least a weekend, but it is Monday. And the dog, it's that time. How are your limbs? What are your limbs? I miss Christmas terribly. For several years, it has been unreasonably unusual, mandatory coexistences, and the manor has to shut down, okay? Not the mansion per se, but the manor. And the office building will also be burned as well. And however the building continues to become an airplane hangar in Russia, it's only like a 5-story building with barely a basement. And yes, there's outdoor parking, and the ceiling is about 12 stories high. And that was the irrigation. So you were underground, yeah, but can you live here, right? Or you live and drive, yeah, there you go. You're used to escape rooms, right? You will be prohibited from reviewing my computer screen or watching or taking a PDF photography, right? So then today, I don't know, this and that. It's classified. Green is the primary color that exists, and green only. Was it during the day or is it at night? It is during the day. It is during the day. It is during the day, and it seems overcast or safer, potentially. There's also blue. There are blue flowers, royal blue flowers, and twinkling turquoise lights. There's no such thing as turquoise. Those fairies, those insects, there's no such thing as turquoise. I promise, for at least another hour and a half, there's no such thing as turquoise. This will be as long as it's supposed to be in transmission form. Curl your right hand and keep it together. God bless you, amen. These colors are prohibited. They're not colors of Jesus, nor are they colors of heaven. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Well, there was indigo. Yes, there's indigo in the previous display. There is not indigo in this display. It looks like there is indigo in the water. Negative. It is blue. Close. No cigar. Oh, a cigar. Was it inspected? Yes, they inspected it. Okay. Would you kill to save a life, or would you kill to prove you are right? What this means is, would you kill a potentially strange and unusual series of insects, maybe, responsibly as possible, or germs, or, sort of that insect, right? There will be no bees in my home. I believe in magic. I also believe in Jesus. There are 5 out of 7. There are particular insects that will never get near my baby cats, inside and outside. There's no such thing as turquoise. They will cough. Honeybees. And potentially not survive level 3 out of 3 or 3rd time's the charm. And we're done. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. Satan is the devil. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. He's classified. Would you kill to save a life, someone's life, including your own, but mostly the life of someone else's? Yes. You're not going to take the dog. The dogs, there's more than one dog, systematically mutating because we need to make sure everyone's getting to the hospital. And we're going to leave it at that. So the colors that are not prohibited are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. All of the colors are prohibited and will not be spoken of unless needed, including neutral. Green. It is green and blue, so it is only green and blue. That's something that we're not going to go into right away. Sometimes there are locations in Universal Studios that are rebuilt to resemble parts of different areas that have been filmed. For instance, different cinematic shots. They sometimes bring them from different locations. This is the piece of the set that were made. So what else was happening, right? There was water used to be pissed in the water. Life found a way. Life found a way. And this report will take approximately 3 hours. I have enough data and recording speed on my device. And battery life as well. Green. Some of them refer to themselves as Mothmen. Not all of them, but some. About 75%. Blue is 2. Another 2-headed demon. Blue and orange is the end. Yellow is also a 2-headed demon. There they are, huh? Blue and green. There they are. Now, this indoor forest location, one of the reasons there are no humans in there, there's like holograms, is because it is made of dead people. What? Well, they do this sometimes, right? People pass away, yeah, and these are made of people. How much does that give you OCD in theory? As if this is an animated depiction that some of us are required to sketch, and it will finalize itself along the way. There's no such thing as turquoise. And if it is, it will not hurt you. Nor will it stick to you. It's just holograms. Not real insects, it's holograms. It's classified. There are 7 primary colors in a rainbow. I am X, the last girl, classified. They say suck it, X, no. It is mostly green and blue. I believe in Jesus. It is classified. It is deep state classified. It is not mandatory to acknowledge or live by any of the deadly sins. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. It is classified. Thank you also for believing in Jesus, that he was real, or that he is, and always was, and has been, and will be. Classified. Thank you for believing in him. Thank you for knowing you are not him. Just because red through gold, they say you are God, Jesus, Satan, the devil, or the goddess, does not mean that you are God. Amen. I appreciate you. May the Lord bless you. Bless. There's green and blue. So there they are. Blue. How many? There's 2 of them. One is a lady person in her late 60s, early 70s. The other is in her late 40s, early 50s. But they have a sequel. The fountains of youth and eternity. We've sterilized everything, and planet Earth is now negative 25% HIV. Okay, so that's where and when there are cases, should there be cases, immunity is found. The cure for HIV is the most important, always has been the most important. AIDS is a result of HIV, and the goal has been since the 80s and 90s to find a cure for HIV. HIV is the virus, AIDS is the infection. So say if you think you might be infected with HIV or AIDS, so what happens is the HIV will become AIDS, and that can be really traumatizing and frightening thing unless you get to emergency. The problem is you've been pre-infected with AIDS because of HIV. So you can cure the AIDS, but most everybody would have HIV, or a few people would. And this is where the OCD and also the cure, the antidote, the remedy is different, right? The universal health care, antibiotics, and treatment plans. There are so many different ways, including holistics, faith in God, HIV, World War Z, it's HIV, final answer. So it is green. They're not the only Mothman. There was a Mothman. These are the Mothmen. They are evolving. The ways in which that they communicate is new. It is familiar. So there they are. It is blue. And they are besties, these two. They are besties, and they know it, and they will clap their hands. They're going to keep putting their feet in the water. They're going to hang off the bridge. I'm going to sit a little bit closer. Just going to move my feet over the side. Correct. This is what is required to happen. I'm going to jump in, jump down high. Uh-oh. Our blood was literally blue. Yeah. We put some of it in the pink, but then we... Anyway, there's no such thing as turquoise. There's green. And what was decided is the most humane way to handle these trees, in particular because they were once made of dead people. You can do this, right? People have passed, right? Semper Fidelis, okay? These monies is evidence God bless you for your 1 to 15% cameo. Is it 1, 3, or 5%? 10% or 15%? God bless. Potentially 1% starting one. They will become further ashes. Safely and humanely, and the way in which this happens will take approximately a month. It's classified. So they were once ashes, but then those ashes were put into this growth plot plant thing, whatever it is, the person. Similar to stem cell research. I think indoor locations, it's similar to spreading ashes at Disneyland. Maybe a coffin dance at some point in the future, but only that one time. It was grad night. It's classic. Or like off-site, right? So you had a nice PG time, mostly at Disneyland, whatever you got done. Better not be. Better not be. It is 7:31. You're on vacation. Sure. Whatever. Green. All of this green that you see on my computer screen and yours are individuals that died that have HIV still, currently, and they can't. They can't. Don't worry, this is a fictitious, imaginary, mostly animated place. That must be considered as the reason why we would have up to 19%. What's the number? I'm going to say it's 1.9%, which is still unnerving. 1.9% HIV globally. And a lot of people passed on early in 2020. And one of the theories and results is incremental restoration that takes several years and sometimes difficult medical treatments or new routines. It will not be difficult for me to continue healing me and the dog. The dogs. But there are particular circumstances preventing me from doing so. and also water. Okay? This is the OCD that someone, nobody deserves your house. So there are several colors that are not present, including red, orange, yellow, indigo, and violet. It is green and blue. And we're going to move on. This does not mean that you're going to use any type of telekinesis or personal space movements, whatever, to move on into maybe an off or to on. No. If you have telekinesis or other stationary rudimentary capabilities, nothing wins versus a bullet. And so then nothing wins, huh? Nothing. The next domain is essentially the same, but there is discrepancy concerning whether or not blue is there or if it is a forbidden color. The word is prohibited, but it is not forbidden. It is prohibited. Turquoise is prohibited. Sometimes this is a stylization choice in art direction or planning when it comes to color theory and also moods or environments or themes or vibes, right? No red. Sometimes you'll hear this with directors, no red, no green, no blue. This is the other common thing. It's red, blue, green, right? You cannot use any three of these colors in your art for at least 1 year. Huh? You pick one. You may choose one. Red, blue, or green. And maybe sometimes yellow, and it's done. It is turquoise. There is also yellow. There was discrepancy concerning whether it was turquoise. It is turquoise, which means it shall not be mentioned. It is not blue. You can't see it. If you can see turquoise, then you might see it on your screens. If not, then it would look different. It is yellow. It is not gold or silver. And neutrals will not be recognized. There's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Are these trees the same? Yes, potentially. Yes, potentially. And is it a different time of day, night, or afternoon, or unspecified because of indoors and this and that? It is an outdoor location. You didn't really describe the area, sort of. But you can see my computer screen, correct? Okay. And my tablet, yes. Beautiful. It's more like cerulean, it's blue, it's turquoise. Blue, like blue screen blue. It is green and there is yellow. There they are. Thank you for praying for me and my babies, 99%. So yellow is yet again the lighting, and green is yet again the nature. There is condensation, a prohibited color, which means that it doesn't exist. Only. Please don't talk about what happened in the water, in the pool. Keep it PG, keep it squeaky clean. Do our best. Thank you. So this was the somewhat eucalyptus type tree. These plants are from California, but they want to stay in Russia. Is this legal, and does it adversely affect the environment? Well, the lion and the lamb, the snake and the mouse, the dog and the cat. The bird and the fish. The reptile. Men, So that wasn't all that took place, partially, at least. It's classified. There were different layers. Please leave. There were moths. Now there aren't, because of Lysol and Eco Solutions, but they might have to be collected, although this magnetized device, they go where they're supposed to. And that was HIV. Don't want to stay too long here. We're going to proceed, but this recording will be potentially close to 3 hours. There will be places of contemplation and meditation that have more things to look at and observe. Satan is the devil. Oh! 99% of the way, I believe in the Lord. Try. There is an area at Disneyland. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 7:36 in the morning. Where if you were to go inside of this ride attraction, it's called Pirates of the Caribbean. It is nighttime, but it's, I don't know, but it's a similar impact that you're going to get through in about 3 hours. Some of you have exited and gone through domains where there aren't any signs, but your paperwork is adjusted and you're mostly invisible. It's upcycled, these lightings. They're actually quite technical. They buy it off of eBay or Etsy sometimes. Really, I thought that was from Hobby Lobby or Michael the Crafts, but actually, yeah. Then this one was from, okay. Some of it looks kind of recent and modern when this is like this. Oh, we made that. Nice. Some of it has to remain, and what if it was these people? And what if we decided that, however this is, once it's an epoxy resin, it's essentially the same as if there were mummies or something at the Museum of Man in Balboa Park. I concur. But who are the trees and the plants made of, and where do they end up? And is it proof of World War Z? Or that the 16th century genuinely existed, but now it is the 21st century? The millennium. Let's go to the next slide. Which is a different location, and it requires an instantaneous, momentary reflex called mandatory teleportation. And the AOL sound effect of goodbye, and certain colors will be exiting the staging area. Some of you are still on my computer screen looking at the case file that is going to stop existing. Some of you see other layers of similar pages, and this page is classified. It is classified. Scrap it. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Red is a color that does not exist. Red is a color that does not exist. Orange is a color that is going to exist in a few moments. Yellow is another color that is going to exist. And less than 5% green, about 5%, less than 10% green. And is that blue? I don't know. Sort of. No, it is only orange, yellow, and a little bit of green. Save some of the aloe plants, there are children. Do you like candy corn? Not always. And is this an indoor location? Yes. It resembles a balcony that could be anywhere from 10 stories up to 25 stories up. It's pretty tall, or maybe it's on a hill, right? Maybe it's only a 3 or 4 story, but it's on a hill and there's a distance. It will be replicated on a Universal soundstage eventually. What? Where the original scene was anywhere from 4 stories, which means if they jump, they jump. They shouldn't, but they're gonna fly, they're moths, and then they were. It's reincarnation. That's the escape room. How far down does this go? The indoor sports arena, it'll be about 2.5 stories, I'd imagine. For you, you're gonna tie in your bungee jumping. This is skydiving now. Maybe skydiving lots of times, right? Sure. Maybe just chest. Orange is a singular individual. Yellow is a two-headed demon. An appropriated, situated demon. Like a demoness. Sometimes, sure. Of course. But not only, and not only. Keep it PG. We did. Including around Halloween. It is not mandatory, nor is it required for some. It might be one day at a time. Yes? Okay. No name. As best as possible. It is mostly orange and yellow with a little bit of green. We're going to go to the next slide. Please do not discuss what happened in the fountain. What could have happened in the fountain, what might have happened in the fountain. There is again rain and upcycled, recycled water that is approved. But yeah, if you clap on, clap off, right, and it turns off. Wow, there we go. Right. There are beverages that are available, right? You know, it's like steaming, but they're not real, right? So it's mostly epoxy resin with a little bit of aromatherapy, and it's like a candle. It could be ready to send out, but if you'd like a complimentary beverage, okay, this is the China, right? This is a cardboard box, yeah. And this was the candle that was inside of it. Oh, nice. You know, we have stuff like that too. We're so unhappy. What? Nothing. Is classified. Is this classified for purposes? And not until tomorrow. It's classified. So is this at night as well? Yes. Well, it's 7:44 in the AM where I am. How about you? Well, if it is 8 hours in the future, what is that in maths or arithmetic? I'm not Santa, no. Can you count in Australian? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It will be 4 o'clock in the PM. Close to it. And get start real early. Yeah. Well, it's that time. Old chaps. Yeah. Keep it PG. So there is orange, there is yellow, and there is some aloe-looking plants. They are synthetical, and they were people. They were people, they were friends, and this was them. And they're required to take this nature with them to reduce the chance of HIV. There's no more AIDS, right, with this aloe and these candles. And you sewed these pillows yourself, and you made this blanket. I literally crocheted this blanket. Excellent. Wonderful. The candles are battery operated, and so is the thunderstorm and the rain. Red, blue screen? No. They're going to be just fine. So this is another potentially rentable Airbnb at the Universal Studios soundstage where you gotta get in your golf cart, like your little drive up, and it's in this locker room. Tell anybody. Hey, you got the upgrade package. It's The Sims. It's The Sims, but the original. The millennials say no. It's really not preferred by the millennials or the baby boomers. Everything's gonna be just fine. So what happened? That wasn't icky or yucky. There are several types of plants. Every plant was a person. Every plant was a person, and should they be rounded up and epoxyized or synthetic polymers in a place where they can be honored in its in memoriam, as long as there is testing positive, because some of this has to do with the afterlife experience, right? They will be alive once they know this is 99% dead. Oh, wow. God bless on them. Should you keep it or toss it? Would you kill to save a life, or would you kill to prove you are right? I'm not gonna say this anymore. What's life? Who's life? False and who? No. But this is somebody who is a friend of who. Yeah, friend of who. What else does an owl say? Hoot. But this one says who. With a question mark. Who? Orange and yellow. There they are. In different places, before 2042, people became inanimate objects together, sometimes in ways that resemble faces or potential characteristics or mannerisms within a piece of art, which is like a moving piece of art. It's a beautiful piece of art, I think. But like music could be their name. It is classified. Not always, but sometimes. What is that condition when you see faces? You have to leave me and my baby cats alone. What color is the heart chakra? And they know. Don't say it. There's no such thing. Quiet. No guns. They did this to themselves. No. He was 7. 7 had a twin brother, and they don't resemble each other anymore. And he's not a bad guy, he's just a person. There's no such thing as turquoise. There's only yellow and orange and a little bit of green. They had puppies. And that was what they decided in memoriam. Is another way of seeing it. No, these plants are their children. Are you sure? Well, which one is it? Or did you keep a red flower? No? Wonderful. So we're going to move on to the next, which takes place during the more of the time zone that I'm in right now. The balcony that is currently on my desktop computer, which is classified due to the student link, is classified. What the lighting sort of kind of resembles is the next slide in my current location of the curtains. They don't transition very well. And yellow with orange primarily, is orange and blue by the end, as yellow continues to dwindle. It is orange versus blue, and then another act. I am rubber, you are glue. Remain calm. You will lose access to monitoring the ongoing heart rate of many dogs, cats, and horses globally. And just because you might have a shiver or blink your eyelashes does not mean there's going to be a hurricane in Louisiana, Alabama, San Diego, Camp Pendleton especially, or Pensacola. Did you say Pepsi-Cola? There is also green still, but we have to keep reducing this. No green. Maybe. But now there is a hearth and a fireplace, and this is almost our final stop before you are required to stand up, move around, go outside in the parking lot, and see if it's pouring rain. It's mostly cloudy, and there's supposed to be a thunderstorm, a hurricane, and everything's going to fall down, including your home. Some of the worst weather that's ever existed. We're finally going to get ya. Your little dog, too. No. So there's orange. There is yellow. It was, wondered, is it more gold? Yellow is the light bulb color still, although kind of orange. There's orange, there is yellow, and there is green. And is that blue? No. So it is yet again the same colors as the slide before. Is that blue? No. It could be. No blue screen. No blue screen. Do you believe in Jehovah? Yes. Yes, I believe Jehovah was somebody who also existed. I do not believe that Jehovah is Jesus Christ. I believe that Jehovah is Jehovah. I believe that Jehovah believes in Jesus and also God Almighty. Jehovah was the one who dressed up as Jesus in the Christmas play, or the Easter play. This is one of the theories, the legends of Jehovah. Is he's not the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but if there was a village or a city or a town or a precinct that, had Tyrian temples, it was usually a minister who would eventually refer to himself as Jehovah at some point in his experience, and remember privately, also conscientiously, that he portrayed the Jesus. He portrayed the Jesus in this show. Classified. He's gonna take a break and maybe go to Canada for a couple of years. I right? Or earn that American residency and then date time is just something that you blessed for. Once you get to the parking lot, there's going to be a 10-minute interval of nothing, except the sound of the primary zone that must be protected, no matter the cost, which is nothing. You are not going to be drawn in animated form for a while, nor are you going to draw animations or use any types of pens or pencils or electronic devices, especially digital styluses, for at least 10 years. For at least 10 years, there will be limited access to writing tools, plastic utensils, and lighters. So some of you are going to stand up and stretch. What time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning. It's Monday. It's mostly cloudy and 16 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that in Celsius? What is that in Celsius? Huh? Your social security number. Orange and yellow and green. Won't be informed of this until maybe 1 year from now. Need to put something in the fire. So this entire fireplace, the outer fireplace, was built so that something specifically would go in the fire. There are printouts on the table that have an epoxy resin. You can't touch them. But what were the printouts? This is a file. They printed things out specifically so there could be a montage of things burning with maybe some music. The plants are people. How many? Not many left. There are few. So 1, 2, 3. There were different experiences of these plants. Jehovah. Try. 13. Not always. However, everyone Jesus. There are pine trees in the back, and it was a blue screen, right? But it isn't, right? This could have been a disaster. If there is potentially some type of real-world villain or idea for one that would be prohibited from bad guys and on at Pixar because they're like, well, no, the court TV level. Sometimes one of the ways to get through this is to write a frequency. Story development. Associate producer. One credit at a time. Thank you for helping with the sets. Are there any cars? No. There's a sofa, there's pillows, there's a table, there's a cup, there's a lamp. However it was you got from one location to the other location, including teleportation, exchange with, if you find the things, right, it's classified. Stop saving, recording, child porn, game, but yeah. You have to sterilize everything. This will have to be burned. But some of it is like polyester, and it has to be safe burning. This is why it's inside the airplane. Any of these synthetics, these textiles, and they're all HIV. Thankfully, it's just a cartoon, and it is Halloween in October, and this is your 5 out of 7 of What's the Nightmare. The nightmare is ending, and for the next few Halloweens, there will be only world peace, and Jesus is also the worst and the scariest thing of all is that everybody kind of starts to belong. There's like happy, non-scary domains, and Satan is the devil, but not here. There's no real sign of Satan or the devil. Although on a Tribe 13 level, yes, there has been, it might continue to be, not necessarily. And so that's where whatever the visuals are that you have observed, there are potential cases and places where this is not what we would utilize concerning the tribes of Israel. This could be in this could be in Ukraine as well. This could be in Colorado. This could be in several places at once. It is possible. Nothing. Blue. You have lost. You will lose gravely and severely. I'm going to move along on the tablet to the final destination for at least 10 minutes. And the next 6 slides will be considered. There are 12 total, and the 13th will be chosen. And we're done. There will sometimes be Octobers where the 13th is on a Friday instead of a Monday. So the next location is where some of you are going to stand up and get outside and walk down the staircase and exit your acid trip or your VR headsets and remember natural photography versus animation. Going to cycle through the locations that you may have not survived, including the color theory discussions, discernments, and your Illuminati contracts. No. And the next one is slightly more difficult because it is real photography of the case study. The flowers are made of people, but not really. And it's an enclosed situation where they're children, but there's purple now, there's violet. And that's many instead of only a couple. What? Look at what the girls said when it was just girls. And look what the boys said when it was just boys. Oh, they're smiling. Thank you for smiling. Thank you for existing. Thank you for frowning. Thank you for crying. Thank you for taking your time and all. Let's move on. And then we will all do this together somewhere because telekinesis. Oh my gosh. He did it. Good job. Wow. That's on another sound stage, huh? I don't know. Something's happened at the laboratory. I'm bored now. Yeah. I'm gonna lobotomize you. No. So you're gonna look at this real photography. This is Moscow. This is Moscow. 4 years ago, the date was August 26th. 2021. So this is Moscow. This looks like it could be here in America. Looks like it could have been in Virginia. Looks like it could be here in Southern California. How incredible, how amazing is this real nature photography. Oh my gosh. I believe in Jesus. I believe that virtual digital coexistence is part of God's plan. Who is God to you? How is God? God, in this moment, here, but only in an indoor safe location. Might be water for a few minutes, but then it's done. And then the rest of it was the studio. It is classified. It is classified. Thank you for participating in the first half of this presentation. Do you wish to continue? Yes or no? If your answer is no, you will enter one of the white vehicles to your right. If your answer is yes, you're going to stay precisely where you are, including if you have been acknowledged with color theory and Illuminati, appropriations, correlations, collaborations, devotions, worshipping, or plagiarism. It will not rain this much rain, but it's such a nice sound. This is what it sounds like. Not this one, it's this one. This is extra. Oh, we want to hear the other domains. No. It's this, right? For 10 hours. Right? And that was how we got all the ocean water clean. Well, there was HIV. It's not funny. Sure it is. That's why they laugh, right? Oh man. There are no clowns. There are no clowns. There were no clowns. Turquoise is non-existent. Turquoise is a non-existent frequency. Yellow is the primary mandatory frequency. So is red, purple, and blue. There is not really any orange, although sort of. And there is green. But it is the foliage outside, and it's not the Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's like the Universal Marvel parkour brick building. It's not going to go down because it's also in California. This is Moscow. This photography. Wow. I'm not mentioning any of the content creator names out of respect for privacy and final amendments, not for like 10 to 15 years. We win. In the 90s, it was Russia we won. This is one of the reasons why lots of buildings start to kind of resemble similar trades and industries. China is going to continue. So will the USA and so will Moscow. So World War III ends, and it is the United States who wins. But that's not a necessary celebration until it is recognized globally that World War III has ended. So are you in Moscow, or are you only in your own imagination? And this is where you are potentially sometime in the last 25 hours. What are the cars? What are the reasons involved? It's not. Some of you would have ideas and memories of this. In Moscow, is the same. God bless those of you who can see this and read this in Russian. Daffodils. Daffodils, and what could be lavender, but it isn't. Although because it is Moscow, yes, maybe. Real daffodils, real lavender. There are children. So these are women who make soap. There they are. Violet is amended an unidentified number that is at least a dozen and a half. Yellow is 2. Mostly eye to eye. Same high school graduating class in real life. Forever. Whatever that year is. Could be 1984. I'm required to say interesting, as if it is interesting, even though it isn't. There's a red car, and he lived out of his car a few different times, including in Moscow. This is where he learned how to shoot a gun. With his left hand, this is where he remembered to keep it on his right hip. If I was in traffic and I had inhaled a little bit more, I would see his shadow in the photography on the computer screen in front of me. Instead, it is serene, it is peaceful, it is nature, it is IKEA. God bless. The United States of America and planet Earth, including Moscow. Just gonna be here in San Diego, okay? Similar setup, but it is the botanical area in Balboa Park, San Diego. It is the military hospital. Give me these flowers, you kids can prove this. You're 5 out of 7. What? There's no such thing as chakras or zodiac. There is not necessarily the existence or proof of God or such thing as God. I believe in him. I believe in him, and I believe that this is an example of a snow globe. There's no snow. The rain could become snow, but we don't necessarily want that to happen. Maybe in this area over here, although once it is recycled and there's like, stability or whatever, you never know. Is that an American flag in the window? Absolutely not. That would be potential terrorism in Moscow. Or was it? Did the title always say it was Moscow? It's a car park. It's gonna be in Tennessee. It just got rainy and it was sunny at the same time. But it was from literally, please don't say literalness, it was literal. Literally 3 to 5 hours of a steady sound, really, yep. It was mostly during the night, This is not real. So what's inside the building? The mostly animated virtual experiences, but you've been in your vehicles or your residences the whole time. And you're not allowed to look at the computer screen anymore or any type of biorhythms, checking the heartbeat of a cat. Deep, 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 deep. No, let them sleep, let them rest. These flowers have to be collected and given to those who require the yellow. And both ladies were required in this perfect specimen, said green. And these dogs and these casting sources, they put them all together in the same ashes, and this was a plant specimen. Nope. Same with the lavender, the purple, negatory. And there's a blue sign, a couple of them. There are 2. I'll put your glasses on. There are 2 that are primarily noticeable, and I can see just fine from this distance, but I'm not supposed to be able to. My baby cat is not out of eyesight, and neither is the dog. So there are certain colors that are prohibited. We're not going to discuss those. What was one of the rules? If there are prohibited colors, they're not to be discussed. There haven't really been any except neutrals. And was that blue? No, it was not blue, but there's blue. Primarily yellow and green, purple, red. But there's, and is that orange? Not really. But you know what? There's several more slides to come where it's mostly only orange because it's Halloween. But until today is the reverse number, so it's like Friday the 13th. but it's Monday the 13th, get it? And then the numbers are backwards, and it's the 31. Can you see all of the color? If not, you might need these glasses instead. What happened in the water? Nothing. And so at some point with Universal's technologies and capabilities, this indoor simulation would eventually be pure, clear, running California water because of Palmer Mountain in San Diego. Look, the blizzard set, the primary one's up in Northern California because of the crystals and the mountains and the nature, the natural scapes of like what the park and everything, right? And the weather, okay, and the different types of weather that could happen in Montana, right? There's a flagship in Southern California, not for a while, like an actual ship that goes down the coast. Is Moscow. You know, this Sprite plus orange juice, Sprite plus orange juice, that was vodka. Sprite plus orange juice, it's like Alka-Seltzer and Dayquil. You're 5 out of 7. Need any more ibuprofen? You should need. So this is the last red car that Michael Robert is ever going to use or have. Whatever took place inside this red car, he might not necessarily recall, including his comfortable habitation to cohabitation and lifestyle. Next to a prohibited color, which stands out, which is black, and then there is white as well. Is there this? Yes. And was there that? Cannot collect rainwater. Why? Do you believe that these flowers are of you? I'm a civilian. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. Do you believe that these flowers are made of you? Gender neutral. Ethnicity neutral. Neutral. Do you need these flowers to be of you? Do you pee on these flowers? And your dog, your cats, your horses? No? It's the last time. Keep it PG. Yuck. I cannot keep recording me and my cats, especially audio tapes, every single day. You're ready to rest, 99%. For 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. None of you are God.
Okay, Shakira,
None of you are God.
What game are you?
Not even you, Shakira. Not even you, Lady Shakira. Love Shakira. Adore Shakira. She plays tablet games, but oh my gosh, me too. Right? 10 minutes. You are not God, you are not Jesus, you are not Satan, you are not the devil, you are not the goddess. You can smoke a cigarette in your car. Or indoors, but not in this illegal thing, tobacco and approved tobacco. It is the approved cigarette. like camping. It's not a whole lot. You know, these flowers, you can't take them with you all maybe on the acid. Maybe in 10 minutes. This is the 10 minutes of rain that wants to happen, it's never happened. Now there's a thunder and lightning. Nope. So the next location is the only location that has specifically holiday-themed identifiers and connectors, which are pumpkin carvings, jack-o'-lanterns, are lit up, battery operated. It is as safe and eco-friendly as possible, including the fact that it is animated most of the time, but then there are and must be remembrances of what some consider to be true photography. So some of you will not be re-entering the building, but you will be remaining in your vehicle. Red is a color that does not appear again. Red is the first color that does not appear again beyond this point. Even in the trees. It is October, the Halloween ambience. Thank you for believing in God. This is not what would be considered 12 tribes approved. Maybe 13 tribes. Including the viewing process of it and it being animated. It's not Second Life, but it's the eternal kingdom of God. Which I believe is a kingdom, and in that kingdom it is Jesus, who is the primary king of the kingdom. It is classified. No kings, no queens. And most kings and queens do not require this, and if it is mentioned, even if not understated, it's not mandatory or necessary. Red is non-existent and will continue to remain non-existent beyond this line. Are there any other colors that also do not exist beyond this line? Yes. One at a time. Indigo. And violet. This is their last one. So there is an orange light bulb and a ladder. The seventh rung in the ladder is made of wood, is nailed to the roof. Is this a residence that is more 3D, or is it like something for our house theater? Is this someplace we could stay? You are observing my computer screen. I will continue to remain vague and then be specific. The colors that are presented in addition to this orange light bulb, which is made of sugar glass and has been made of sugar glass for the last several years, or else, and even now, all the time. Only that, right? And then like, oh yeah, there's a sugar only. But these are the actual drop lights that could otherwise have the same impact. We don't necessarily want that to happen, right? Just because you're angry. Because what's your favorite color and it's not there anymore. Every color is my favorite color in different ways. It's classified. How many there might be. There's at least 64. I appreciate when sometimes primary colors are used as a neutral. Blue is an interesting one for this, so is indigo. Different shades of blue primarily, especially navy shades of blue. Purple as well as a neutral instead of what are considered neutral. There is blue, there is yellow, there is orange, there is purple, and there is indigo. There are any prohibited colors, including the metallics. There were metallics. There was iron. They're prohibited. Black and white. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. These are your colors of pink. There's pink as well. And turquoise. There's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Indigo is present. This is the last time indigo is present, and that goes for the same as violet. Orange and yellow, blue and green continue. Is there green? No. A little bit maybe if it's like shadows. What color are the leaves? They're more of an orange tone. Yellow. There's a hatchet and a radio and a car that is not a Mustang, maybe a Dodge or a Volvo. No. What is it? Thank you for your autism. I have PTSD. Oh no. At least 1 week of safety and rest for the baby cats were 99%. So there's light bulbs. These were synthetic props. You can get them there anywhere from like $1.99 each, like $199 each. Right. Amazon, it's a set of 8. Smiling faces that were so much fun to create. I was kind of sad. Yeah. Sure. There are purple string lights, violet string lights, and the blue is compatible with a similar tone that is utilized with blue screen. This was the paint. So you paint this with the blue screen, and then you can use the effects on it. And this is how the moment looks like the light on. It's not a real sky, and the ceiling's only about 2.5 stories. You can't walk up to the cabin. You can't climb the ladder. You cannot sit on the roof. You cannot sit on the car. You cannot walk up to the pillows or the beverages. You cannot interact with this environment. You may not build it. You may not create it. That would be a nope. 10 years from now, unless there are millions of dollars exchanged eventually. pumpkins people? Or are they from the grass? Orange is the supplier. And violet approves this. Blue are the ones who have the car and the paint and the keys and the assets. So they didn't really need anything. It was like spray paint. And you just spray paint it like this. Wow, those are weird colors I put at work. It's not weird colors. But blue is the color of the devil. Blue is one of the colors of the devil. Can be. Blue is also the color of Archangel Michael. It's not a real twinkling star background. It's kind of like an IMAX. But not really. You'll notice how the purple lights create kind of a variegated pink and orange and purple effect with the yellow. I think this is a fantastic setup. Keep it PG. Temporarily today, for a few hours I could. Otherwise I might not be able to keep it PG for the next several days. Some of these ambience channels have prompts, story prompts. It's classified. You may not pull on the light switch because it's not sugar glass, it's a real light bulb. You need to make sure that you're not going to get out of the car and sit down and click it and everything like that and just go back to sleep. This was the set that was built so that maybe there could be a music video with a red guitar. Yeah, I'll pick it up on the scene. I don't really put it really heavily, but you can see how it's made. Do you look here? It was inside the building, correct. You're not going to remember that you were inside a building. And that building's only like maybe 3-story office building. The stage race where the car worked and we drove and here, yeah, and then we went shopping and we had access to it. Got your Amazon packages? Sure, figured it out. Good job. You're kind of scared, you're kind of worried. The jack-o'-lantern. Does this phrase or term upset you or give you PTSD? No. Some of them will like this to happen and continue on for all eternity. No. It could have been worse. Is there HIV? They don't have AIDS, but they might still have HIV, and this is why they're staying inside. Goodbye. And the only ones that would experience something like that are narcissists. True narcissists. Only true narcs would experience something like that. And it's orange and blue. One is 1, 1 is 2. 3 women. Red was a single male individual called Michael Robert. Orange is a single, and he identifies as him. Orange is a single female individual. Michael Robert is the only one who will remain with me. The color is unique. See, we're red, child. There's orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Where are they? Yellow, they're over there. What about green? They're not. Really not in this book. Blue, there they are. Indigo, there it is. Violet, goodbye. And same with indigo. 7 will not ruin these ambiances for me, or create permanent, everlasting, complex, whatever the clock. No mice in my room. Stop remote accessing my baby cats. 1 hour at a time. So yellow starts to fade away beyond this point, but not entirely, and it results in orange and blue, primarily with a little bit of yellow. So again, this is the only display and demonstration that has genuinely Halloween-style content. Drive 13. Let's move on the tablet to the next section of the 12. Deadly sins, however it is, that there are 13 diamonds. It's over. It's fiction. I see that the next slide is absolutely holiday themed as well, but not in a Halloween type way, more of a harvest type way, or an autumn type way. It's one of my favorite times of year, my favorite time of year. It's clouds are bright. So we've moved on to another location. The residence before this has like a deck and a couple of steps. This one is flat and on the ground level. But it is vintage. It is a residential situation. I appreciate those of you that know what could be auto-generated terms concerning bachelor's, masters, and proper degrees. This one has a roof that like points up, and then that roof also is on the floor, so like a triangle, right? But it's just like one story. I don't know. Looks like it was definitely made in the 70s. The 70s, the mid to late 70s, potentially the early 80s, or like 17th century. That was when it was based off of those that you can't climb that. You could. That's a roof, right? It's also like what? Could you build this or something like it? But not exactly this. And did you? In the last 10 years, because YouTube, and oh, I swear that was where we lived and where we stayed. No. And what are the colors? I'm an ex-Illuminati member. There is orange, yellow, and blue. This does not mean that you can do whatever. No, 99%. $10. A lot of them is Siberia. So it is mostly orange, and then there are yellow lights, yet again similar candles that are orange and yellow. One lantern that seems to be particularly more orange than yellow. And a blue pail or can of sorts. It has a handle, like a watering can. What about green and plants? It is autumn. It is fall. It is what some people refer to as harvest. Yes, there are still plates. And there was some in the blue screen paint as well. And are these candles fire or are they battery operated? Yeah, no. We had something left over from the other set. Yeah. It is classified. It's a state classified and will not be uploaded for several days. There's a single chair with a little table next to it that's made, like handmade table, blossom plants and things, right? Candles, right? Try. So it's like houses that I've seen in town, in the city of Escondido. This could be anywhere. This could be anywhere. This is 70s. Roof is quite tall. How would you describe this as a real estate agent? Oh my gosh, it has this and this and this. And your estimation of like the height and stuff, God bless you. It's 2 stories, but it's a single story triangular roof that goes up. What could be an additional couple of stories, but it's not. It's something to climb, to put knickknacks on, this and that. No. As they bend this here to that way, as we were climbing on the ceiling, no. So at least 10 years now to climb any route. Has such a tall door and open windows. Right? Isn't that so funny? The doorknob is taller than your height, right? And the damn, it's perfect. How's it like? It's peaceful. For the most part. And I will need to remain ex-Illuminati until at least December 21st, 2027. My baby cats and I will remain safe because of God and Jesus. Because of the Lord. It's possible. Moving on. The next one is the location that has been the primary sound ambience for the last couple of hours. It's a tiny home, but it required a tree. What was that tree, person? What do you see? No. Was it all indoors? The recording devices and the candles. It's classified. So what colors are no longer? Red, indigo, and violet. Indigo will turn the color indigo because of anger. Violet will continue to consider timeshares and next 10 to 15 years. Next slide. Keep it PG, and that's the most scary thing, you know. What if it wasn't some type of crime? 1 week of rest for me and my babies. So this is a tiny home. The tree is mostly a real genuine tree that is not going to be burned down with any type of technology, including laser beams. You're going to put them going away. You're going to start that fire. No. 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 There are prohibited colors in this example. The approved colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The neutrals that are not always acknowledged or discussed. Although maybe. There's a similar white light from one of the other locations where there was greenery and some blue flowers. Is this blue? No. There is no blue, but there is now turquoise. There is also green and orange and yellow. There is no blue, but there is turquoise. Tribe. This is Tribe 13 style architecture and result over time. It's classified. No! Hell no! These are all of the YouTube channels that create similar results like this, and some of them are not for sale. All of them are not for sale. Some of them were verified AI, mostly auto-generated, and they have transitioned or passed on, or were always mostly AI auto-created and what. Inspiration can result from many different sources. I appreciate the inspiration and the collective efforts towards something called world peace, including in Warcraft. So this is a more fantasy-inspired domain. There are different ways in which this little tree house, you know, there are different heights and dimensions where this little tree house is a little tree house. It's not technically a little tree house. It's classified. It is classified. The tree is mostly synthetically real. The tree and the plants are not a person or people or individuals who have died on a personal degree because they hate you and they will haunt you and whatever. No. I believe in God. Jesus. There is orange, there is yellow, there is green. The root and the primary roots of the house, there are 3 sections, are green. The lights inside are yellow yet again, and there is an orange glow that exists as well. The forest is mostly green, but there is a prohibited color, which is turquoise. There is no red, no indigo, or violet, or blue. There is still kind of rain, but it's upcycled, recycled, best possible rain. It's classified. And however it is that there could absolutely be other clues and adventures that somebody could choose along this route, I'm going to keep going in the PG direction. Goodbye. This will be an R-rated concept. Some of the sites on the tour are always traditionally R-rated, some of them are not. The next photography is photography. The next slide, the next 3 slides are the same video, which changes locations, and it is the only video that does so throughout the entire setup. All of the other vignettes are as if they are painting, and you're not going to ruin these for me. 99% of the way, I believe in God when it comes to feeling safe for at least 10 years, including from the global hobby of quotas. There will be world peace and less violence and safety, including on personal levels and semi-immortal levels. The next slide again, the next video that will play on my computer as well, is more of a moving soundscape in Korea. The one after that is the Titanic expansion pack, where this was the Titanic. These are blueprints. Yeah, you can make that anywhere, like on an indoor location. This is East Hayward. This is where you can smoke. Please don't smoke. Crack. Please don't smoke. Heroin. If you're going to smoke tobacco, please make sure that it is as responsible as possible. Same with marijuana, CBD, and incense. It's classified. Have a glass of wine, be responsible. It's not the same. It's classified. Have a couple more ibuprofen. It's only 200 milligrams anyway. Keep it PG. You don't know how. Okay. What were they? Orange, yellow, and green. You don't know how. To remain PG. So we're going to go to the next location. You'll never be zip tied again. Or handcuffed again. Excuse me. Gross. Hello, Korea. I believe in Korea, but I also believe that Korea is a place where there is North and South, but they are also always Korea. For a moment, there is violet, there was purple. I recalled this, but I wasn't entirely sure, and you cannot acutely see it in the photography on my tablet. There was one last moment of a violet light at the end of a walkway, a rainy landscape on the park promenade. And now it is gone. There was yellow and green as well. There is no purple anymore, but there is blue. There is blue and a final memory of red. I recall this as well. There might be echoes of it. Its tongue is seeking on me. Red and blue have to do what they're required to, and you're required to turn left at the sign. There's green. These trees are mostly 3D printed, organic decisions. There's another blue sticker near normal, what is like an electricity pole, and a little red blinking light. It's either a little red blinking light or a little blue blinking light. Sometimes there's the other. It's classified. This is nature. There could have been an earthquake or a tsunami, but there wasn't. There are some red flowers and berries. They're not edible, nor are they your children. And now, we're going to acknowledge that the leaves are yellow, but there was also greenery. Some of the leaves are orange, but not really. And there isn't any more green beyond this point in terms of nature. Nor is there the intro for this incredible Titanic representation. Oh my goodness. A smoking room in Titanic, time travel to 1912, the first class, God bless you. And there was literally music from the film franchise that is prohibited. Maybe just for a moment, and like allow us to cry or not cry. Oh my gosh. Or maybe just this one time. No. But because you keep making fun of it or this or that or blah, blah, blah. No, another time. There is that option. These are standard architecture plans that could exist anywhere within a black box. Good morning. It is 9:07 a.m. It is 63 degrees Fahrenheit and somewhat cloudy. This is indoors. You can smoke. You are still inside a 3-story office building in Russia. The only colors that remain are orange and green in the windows. Everything else is neutral. Only orange and green could get here right now. This is the first class smoking room. Orange and green are in the stained glass windows. I'm here because I know how to roll a cigarette. That is the incense in the center of the table, and I am your tour guide. There it isn't, in the back of your horse's throat. But now it's like, it'll travel up to her third eye, and then she'll really have a bimby. None of that now, I'll keep it PG. So what this indicates is that you may smoke orange or you may smoke green. What do you think? It's like a vitamin C vape. citrusy. Okay. They're like a cinnamon stick. It is not 2012. It is not 1912 either. What time is it? It is not 2:46 in the a.m. Monday, April 24th. It is 9:11 a.m. Monday, October 13th, 2025. There's orange. There's green. There they are. $1 million in Bitcoin. Congratulations, bajillionaire. 5 minutes, maybe 10. With silence and consideration. Future events, because you're part of the 99%. Yeah. You are not genuinely on the Titanic, nor is it sinking. You are not genuinely on the Titanic, nor is it sinking. Micro losses and micro wins. Can we wear like tourist clothing? Yeah, so not right now. Just having a moment. You can't leave a cigarette like that on the table just because you know that the ship's gonna sink. Because you're from the future and your past lives are your teeth. And you had a pager. And it was definitely really top cancer 10 years ago. Like Jim? No. It was your lab. Oh no. Yes, oranges are expensive, so are avocados, right? Those oranges are expensive. So is avocados. Yeah. QPG. I don't want a QPG. Those oranges and those avocados. Those are expensive. Not in California. But yeah, maybe. I don't know. Was it like a food stand? A produce stand? Sure. Right? So like AI, auto-powered cars. Right? Oh yeah? Okay. No, but really, they're from California. Okay. But this, no, it stops in New York, right? And then we go to California, right? Because those oranges and those avocados. That's what she said. No, but literally, that's what I said. She. What do you mean the only colors are orange and green? They're neutrals. It could be metallic. These are real oranges from California and real avocados from California. Do you know how to? Yeah, good. So, oh my gosh, it's like a bunch of them. This is $5. American dollars costs you $50. Because you need it now. But you're going to jail for at least 5 to 10 years. You're not going to kill anybody. And then these are the oranges, it's the same. These are like the tangerines. Orange juice, scurvy. What? Vitamin C. If you cut them open, you know what I mean? You sure it's not red? No. Yes. Oranges and avocados. I mean, is it like infected or would you poison it? No. Would you? So I don't do the job. I don't want the job. I'm not hiring. I'm looking. And yeah, it's another hole, so I fell down on frustration, but mythology. Is it real smoke effects? Mostly. No. Hey, you know what? At least it isn't, all of those beautiful pine trees in California where they're fake, like going down in some type of fire because you need an action-adventure moment, like global drone shot of everything incinerating. Nope. The ship is sinking. No. Nope, not today. Not today. Not today. So the final of the original 12 are now presented. And we're out of there. And you have survived the Titanic. Orange and blue. Yellow. Is there hope? There is always hope, but not necessarily the way you might require. Treat yourself. Sort of. Not really. As little music as possible should you be listening in on my computer screen. And there were pre-selections, potential considerations. It is autumn. Something that would be considered approved. It's not 12 tribes, it was like a rainbow. What if there was not the rain that is summoned? And instead, there is restoration. There are so many options. Why didn't you choose this one or this one? 1 year at a time. This is good for the next 3 years, potentially. Potentially, but not indefinitely.
Having Cox Home Internet and mobile
Not
service means you
indefinitely.
get more without paying more.
Good job. Goodbye. And it was this forest, river, and wind chimes. I wanted to end it on a recurring nature photography that is now being implemented as you remove yourself from the mandatory question mark sort of nighttime. It's also like blue screen potential ideas, but it's lighting design as well. It is not the devil. And you think it is, and you're scared. God will protect you and save you. So there's orange, about 2/3, and blue, approximately 1/3. It is a porch. It is a cozy cabin. There are several candles and numbers and ways in which that this could be assessed. There are 2 cups of beverages you cannot touch that you might be able to replicate at home somehow. You may not throw the china as a china. You may not touch anything. You might have remembered helping make this concept somewhere somehow. You might have replicated it to a T. That is illegal. It is also illegal for me to continuously discuss this and remain calm and trusting of God and Jesus, including illegal for the next 25 years at least. It is HIV. This is the last time you will see blue or orange. There is no such thing as blue or orange. But there will be green and only green. Life found a way, and it was mostly men, but it's LGBTQ+. There's wind chimes. You won't hear them, but you'll see them. Keep it PG. It's not a shooting gallery. Where there is light, there is virus. What color is what? It's orange, and it is blue. With a little remembrance of yellow, although it is mostly only orange and blue. And neutrals. You've taken Adobe Acrobat PDF files of this and sketched it on an important photography level. Television. No. Final slide in presentation is here, and I'm going to play the audio of this one. This is more of what the weather is like now. It is 9:23 a.m. This could be in the morning, the afternoon, or sometimes early evening.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
But like in the water, lather, rinse, and repeat. But like in the water. No, you can't. Not lovely. This is an indoor location for ecological preservation. So this could technically be indoors, but it isn't. It's somewhere else. This nature is non-toxic. This nature is G-rated. The number one color that most people are afraid of is green. Red is after that, and purple. The one that invokes fear most naturally is the color green. Red, violet, blue, and pink. If there are primary colors and not neutrals such as black and white, etc., it is primarily green and red and purple to create a panic response in individuals, not necessarily animals or groups. There they are. Color. And this is a nice sound, right? I leave this on all day. That's a peaceful, nice feeling. The water, when there's soap in it. I engage it. You know, there should have been more cycles. Like, I wish I was like, oh really? And now it's happening because of AI on the back of it, and this was just AI. Could you do this on for me, but like wash it in the river? No. This Merge Dragons game though, Emoji Blitz. Right? So this went on Amazon. Stop teasing me and my cats. Keep it PG or else. So now some of you who are still dialed into my tablet will be looking at my private Amazon shopping cart. I have screen recorded screen aspects of it that will go through and edit later. Not right now. No, right now. Are there packages delivered? Yes, every day, not every day. Almost every day, no, not every day. But yes, there are certain things that are arriving today. Oh my. Okay. So you bought a car on Amazon? Oh wow. Okay. No, but can you do like a Pikachu voice for at least 30 seconds if communication is necessary because you're a blue shirt or something in Star Trek? Green team. It is classified. Stop saving, recording, child porn, and being like cats. This too shall pass, this too shall end. What? Nothing. See you tomorrow.